Sorry, quick interruption. Then we went to this place called the Open Air Museum, which is it's really just painted walls, like it's graffiti on walls. So of course it's free. There are, I think, 25 commissioned pieces by some of the students of the Catholic Art University or Catholic Technical and Art University. And then there are just random graffitis that different people have done. So as in the rest of the city. For example, our front gate at this house is just like covered in, and it's not called graffiti when it's, graffiti is like art or like a political statement, but if it's just like a stupid name or a word or something, a lot of people write sick, like, dude, that's sick. I don't know, they just write sick all over the place. And that's just a mark. So on our gate is just like marks and marks and marks. And I don't know if my little brother did it or if random people have done it, so I'll have to ask about that. So then after the group project, I went and hung out with my friend Emily F. at her house, and I had my first completo, which is a very, very typical Chilean like snack, junk food, my brother said. And it's a hot dog, but in like a huge hoagie bun, or just like a huge roll. And then it has avocado, of course. Tomato, avocados with everything. I mean, you can eat like a full avocado. The girls from Peru know this. So avocado, and I told you we have an avocado tree out my window. Tomato and mayonnaise is the Italian, because it's red, white, and green. That's an Italian completo, and then you can get on top of it ketchup and mustard. Or there's an American completo or some other form. That's the Italian is the most typical, but the other form is made with like American salsa, or sauce, which is like peppers and onions and garlic chopped up or something, and then tomato and avocado and mayonnaise. What else? There's a vegetarian one that doesn't have any meat. There's a vegetarian one with soy. There's a chicken one. There's one that's like it's a seafood mixture. I'm not sure. I'm very confused on them all. But there are all sorts of types of completos. Maybe I'll connect a link to this video. And it's very junk foody, kind of grab a snack or grab a dinner to go kind of thing. So I had that and some juice. Oh, and a panqueque. Panqueques are like crepes. So they don't have the like fluffy pancakes that I love to eat at home with blueberries. They have like crepe pancakes. And I had this one with manjar, which is like which is like sweetened condensed milk mixed with caramel. Oh my god, to die for. I could just drink it out of a can. Except that they have it in bags. They have manjar in bags and then sweetened condensed milk in cans. So you can just like, oh my gosh, we put it with everything. It's ridiculous, as Claudia knows. What else? You can also have pancakes with like, we had it once with spinach, or with mushrooms and cheese. That was really good too. But so I had that, and then I went to meet with my older brother who had been working in Valparaiso. So like Vina's over here. Well, it depends on where you're looking here. Vina's over here where I live, and then I traveled over to Valparaiso and up the hills to go to my friend's house to work, and then across the hill to go to another friend's house to just hang out and kill some time, and then back down to Valpo to meet up with my brother, and I'm not sure why that was necessary, and meet up with a girl who's friends with the girl who stayed in this house last semester. So her name is Gavin. She is like a heroine here. She is such a big deal. Everyone's like, Gavin, it's Gavin that. Like, Carlos is in love with her. It's so cute. And Carlos is going to go to, a possibility after he finishes his thesis is to go to Berkeley and study at Berkeley for a master's. And this would all be made possible through her. And he is planning to travel to visit her in like January maybe in California. So incredible. I mean, they just have like an amazing relationship. It's really, really cool. It's really fun, but it's a lot to live up to. Thanks a lot, Gavin. So we went to meet this friend of hers, and Carlos had said to me, you know, Gavin said this girl is coming and she's just traveling around South America, and I'm gonna need your help translating. And I was like, well, you're not, first of all, because you're bilingual and you can totally understand her, but you know, like, fine, it'll be fun to meet someone new. This was cool. So I went. She lived in Argentina for 6 months. So she came up to me and she said, y vos, ¿de dónde soy? Which makes no sense in Spanish or Chilean because it's completely different from Argentinian. But it boggles my mind. But so I did one of these faces, and then I looked at Carlos and I'm like, oh my god. And he asked her, like, you speak with an Argentinian accent. Oh yeah, I lived in Argentina for 6 months, casual. I also lived in La Paz for 6 months, casual. Like, this girl's a beast. She totally gets the Spanish thing. So now she had graduated from university and worked for a while, like for a summer, for 6 months, something like that, maybe a year, and then she is just traveling around South America until she runs out of money. Crazy stuff. So that happened. She was amazing. Carlos got to talk all about his home island, Chiloé, which is incredible. You should definitely look up pictures. Maybe I'll attach some. And got to talk about, like, the political situation here, and I heard some really interesting stuff, which of course I can't remember now. Oh, like, the people of Chiloé don't call themselves Chilenos; they call themselves Chilotes, which, first of all, is very interesting because obviously because it's separated from Chilenos. Like, they're Chilenos from the mainland and then Chilotes. But also very interesting because there are Chilenos and Chilenas. So, like, not me, but like, mi madre es chilena, pero mi padre, my dad, is Chileno. But then Chilotes, like, Carlos es Chilote, una chica es Chilote. It doesn't, the ending doesn't change. It doesn't have gender. So that's very interesting, just because there are so many words that do have gender. Like, there are 2 words for students, estudiante y alumno, but it's alumno, alumna, whereas it's just estudiante. So somos estudiantes. So, pero, okay, so for alumno, if there was a group of people and it's 6 girls and 1 guy, you're still alumnos because the masculine always, like trumps. I don't know, it's the craziest thing. We don't think about these things because we don't have gender in our languages, in our language rather, but it's like, it makes such a difference, and it has so much to do with society, so it's really interesting. Also, Chiloé only just recently got a mall and a casino, and, like, the majority of the people were saying, like, yes, we need a mall, we need a mall. And now a lot more people have very solid work, but it's, like, Carlos, for instance, is distraught because the culture of his island is changing, and he was talking about there used to be an economy of, like, bartering. So, like, the dentist would come to a nursery and say, you know, I would like this plant, this plant, this plant, and the nursery owner, actually his brother, said, well, actually I need some dental work done, so how about instead of paying me, you take as many plants as would cost this dental work, which is incredible. I mean, it's incredible. It's such a close-knit society. It's such a, it's functioning as a group rather than functioning, you know, in this, I don't know, in this separate way, in this, you know, I'll pay through PayPal and all. So, it's very interesting. What else? He also was telling us that the women are, like, the bosses. So, for instance, like, 2 men are talking. One needs a cow and one needs a pig, and they go to each other and they say, okay, well, we'll change. You know, I'll change my cow for your pig and so many vegetables or something. But then before they do this, they have to go back and talk with their wives, mothers, with whoever they live, because they have the final say on the decision, which is so interesting. And Adrian, Gavin's friend, who we met in Valpo to talk with, was just, I mean, she was blown away. She was having such a great time with this. So I can't wait to talk more with Carlos about this and then go visit his island, which now has an airport. And because of this, we can go in like 3-4 hours instead of 24. It used to take 24 hours by bus to go. So very exciting, very cool. What else? So we did that. We made our way home. We were just hanging out, talking. The parents had gone to sleep, the los viejos. But we were hanging out in Carlos's room with Alfonso, just like chatting till some ungodly hour of the morning, and then practically fell asleep. And we, of course, overslept this morning. And then there's Maga. Hola, Maguita. Hola. Always whining. Of course, overslept this morning. Went to class, and we had the presentations, which went super easy. I mean, we're hardly even graded, so, hi. Cállate. Then we, after the presentations, rather, we had an actual class that we talked about. My first professor is just, like, enamored with this artist, Inti. Enamored. There's a link in a previous video about him. Inti means sun in Quechua, and it's just a nickname of his. His real name is, or maybe his last name is Castro, and he changed his, I'm not sure, I'm not clear on that, but he does some amazing work. Our professor showed us a graffiti of his in Beirut, so he's now international. Like, this guy is big, and it's just amazing. He really does some incredible stuff, and it's very, like, it's about the indigenous people. It's about the, like, the cohesiveness and the like, the inter-society relations, like I was talking about with the bartering system in Chile. Really, really interesting. So I, getting pretty fired up. There's also an artist, Chinoy. I'll post some videos about him, or post some links. But he does music that's very, it's like about the revolution, about change, and about, like, a cultural revolution to get started, and it's incredible. It's incredible. Okay, and what else? So, then in the second part of, so then we, like, learned some, whatever. We were talking about, some artist or computer kid took 400 pictures of Chilean men and 400 pictures of Chilean women, and in Santiago, Santiago, and then mushed all the faces together, like, took the average of them all, and made these two faces that are like a representation of the people of Santiago, which was really interesting. So then we were going over both the vocabulary of, like, faces and features and things, but also talking about, if this is typical, but what do we see here in Valparaiso and Viña, and it was very interesting. Then in the second class, we went over more Chilenismos, which I have one that I need to look up, but I mean, some of these are killer. There's a word, naka la pirinaka, which means no. It's, like, used in a funny situation where you're like, I don't know, I can't even think of an example, but it's like if you're all joking and kidding around, and then you just want to be like, no way. It's like naka la naka, and it's, I mean, how many letters is that? I don't know. It's a lot of letters, more than 12 letters. Maybe 14, 16. So it's incredible, but just funny. And then we just split and went our separate ways, and I'm about to have some lunch right now. So my mom and we have a house cleaner. They're cleaning the house, and she makes my room look incredible. It's amazing. And then we're gonna go ahead and cook some lunch and eat up, and I'll rest to sleep off this cold. So I will talk to you soon again, and I hope I don't know, answered some questions, didn't act too crazy or goofy. Talk to you soon. Love you all. Bye.